Good morning, evening, or afternoon, everybody. It's Kaghoe coming at you with another video. So today we are going to be looking at our weekly number breakdown, and this is the first week that we will have the anniversary WoW numbers, which I gotta say I am shocked at the results of this, because I figured it would be way higher given all the people playing it, given the communities I'm involved in, and given what I've been doing with it. But I am shocked to see this number to be this low. We'll definitely talk about it when we get into the video. But before we do that, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Everything you guys do helps my channel grow, helps me get discovered, and helps me help as many people as possible, which is the entire point of my channel. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So I'm going to switch it over here to the Cataclysm chart, and we are going to dive right into this. So the Cata chart is the classic 2019 all the way through until present day chart, and it is broken into classic right here, and this first dip is when TBC launched. TBC is from here all the way to right here when we see the first spike is Wrath of the Lich King, and then Wrath is from right here all the way down here to 50k at Cataclysm launch. So those are the general expansion breakdowns, and we see, you know, normal classic had high peaks of about 500,000 players, and it, you know, it stayed there for a bit, but it went more between the 250 mark to 300k for most of its life, which is pretty good, I'd say, for 40-man rating. Kind of crazy. When we got into Nax and it finally got hard is where we see the drop off, but Nax didn't last very long, and we went into TBC. TBC actually had the most consistent and healthy rating population. It peaked at about 404,000 players. I think this was Black Temple launch, or SCC and TK, I'm not sure. I think it actually might be SCC TK launch. And then it stayed about 350k for all the way until Sunwell, and then after people did Sunwell, it started to dip a little bit. But all in all, TBC was very healthy, staying between 350 to 400,000 people. Then we get to Wrath of the Lich King, which is Blizzard's most popular expansion, so no doubt that it cranks, and we had peaked at 626,000 raiders for the phase 1 of that, which is Nax, Azurgos, and Obsidian Sanctum. So 626,000 raiders here, which is the all-time peak for all of the Classic project here in US. So kind of crazy to see that. Then it, you know, drops down to about 500,000 for Old War. Then we go to TOGC, and the sharp drop off from Old War hard modes at 500k all the way down to 200k is kind of crazy. Like, it went down to 268k, just straight drop, which is crazy because, you know, that's where the game actually starts to get hard. Like, mechanics are hard, hard modes are hard. You have to actually do certain things to make it more difficult, and those difficulties for more loot kind of sway people off. But then we have TOGC and ICC, where it went about 400,000. Then ICC, you know, people doing it, the buff comes out, Christmas, holidays, season over here, it drops all the way down, as you can see, to an all-time low of about 50k. But ICC went for like 20 plus weeks, so that makes a lot of sense that people were bored of it, full bis, etc. Then we come into Cataclysm, where we peaked at 317,000, and ever since then it has been a straight downhill slope, which is very alarming for compared to, you know, all of these charts where they held their steady populations after rating got going. Like right here, instead of that, it goes straight down, mimicking this sort of ICC straight down from attrition, which is really sad to see. And then Cicada hit an all-time low of 50,000. Then Firelands came out, brought it up to 120k. Everyone's raiding Firelands, and we have this most current week. It dropped 5k, but it's holiday season. I would expect all raiding to drop quite a bit. People just, you know, are going to struggle to get those raids in, but we see it at 127k, which is a healthy amount for Cata. I was actually pretty shocked when it went to 50k and is toying with this 100k mark. Good to see a lot of people coming back and continuing with it. Time will tell if Firelands keeps that energy, if people keep playing Firelands, or if we go to other things. So enough with that, let's head over to Season of Discovery. So here is the first phase of SoD, here is the second phase of SoD right here, third phase of SoD going all the way down to here. Then we have SoD phase 4, then we have SoD phase 5, and we have SoD phase 6 right here. So phase 1 peaked at about 500k players, and it's very important to note that people could literally start a character that day and raid the same day. They could get to 25 in a day. They could get into a BFD. So these numbers are a little bit skewed heavily by alts. So like me, for example, in some of these weeks, I was playing all 8 characters. Like I was in a guild that had 8 runs going. I was playing 8 characters. It was kind of insane. So it's just really important to point that out and make sure people are aware that these numbers might be a little inflated due to alts and people playing too. Then we had the grind from 25 to 40, which was insane, and we got into No Mergon, which was our shortest raid. By the time it peaked, we were almost like right here. We already had been announced that we were going to the next raid. So it's kind of crazy that as it peaked, we were already preparing for Sunken Temple, it being the shortest phrase that we had. Then Sunken Temple, for a plethora of reasons, kind of went down, as well as Phase 3 just wasn't that fun incursions. We'll just leave it at that. But we had Sunken Temple. It was a 20-man raid, and that 20-man raid, it makes it a lot harder to pug, as well as the difficulty for Sunken Temple really impacted people's performance and ability to get groups. And as we can see, Cataclysm also launched during this phase, so a lot of people went to that too. And it went all the way down to 20,000 people doing Sunken Temple, and that's kind of crazy. But Phase 4 came back, and we see probably the biggest bounce back we have seen in quite a while, from 20k all the way up to 88,000 for its Phase 4 peak. Then into Phase 5, we see that 88k number appear again. It got to pretty much held strong there for Phase 5, and then we get to Phase 6, where we see a little bit of a drop off from 66k, 58k, then we see it bound back to 63k, and then it held at about 63,000 raiders. So AQ, obviously a lot harder. It's the first major difficulty step, as well as we have had quite a lot of issues with the launch for AQ, so it's been very bumpy, but I think it's stable now, and we're getting a lot of Phase 7, which is building a ton of hype. So I expect SoD number to go back up. I would love to see it break 100k again. That would make me so happy, but time will tell if we ever get there. Next, we're going to cover Era, and then we will get to Anniversary. So Era is at 10,000 players holding strong. They really love their Era. They're sitting at that final phase, which is kind of crazy that they've been doing this for 5 years, but respect to them. I love to see the dedication that there's still 10,000 players dedicated to their 40-man raids they've been doing for 5 years. It's just wild to see. Wild for me to hear that and see that, but it is what it is. Some of these servers even have like just a few people doing it, which is kind of crazy, but like some of these servers literally just have a raid team going, which is just absurd dedication. You gotta respect it. But anyway, the big reveal is Anniversary numbers. Now, I was shocked at this number being only 20,000. It seems every time I log into there, we have 1 to like 10, or obviously 1, but we have like 5 to 10 layers up 24/7. People are playing it, people are rating it, and it's just, it blows my mind that it is sort of at that point. I will say, obviously, leveling 1 to 60 is a huge commitment. This is a month old, though. Like, this is a month after it launched, so people have been playing for a month, and only 20k people rating across NA, EU. Very surprising to me, with everyone hyping up Fresh, wanting this Fresh, the content that's being put out there. I'm just absolutely baffled by this number. I figured it would be more upwards of like 50 to 70k, but 20k is actually like shooting off alarm bells in my head personally. But I hope it goes up from here. Time will definitely tell. Obviously, it's holidays. We got Hardcore released, we got Anniversary released, we have people still playing SoD in the SoD phase release, so we do have a ton of things there. But this 20k number, I only expect to go up, and hopefully I'm right with that, because it'll be very alarming to see if it was just a loud minority that wanted the Fresh servers, or if it's actually something people want. So time will definitely tell with all of that. But let me know what you guys think down below. I would love to hear all of your predictions, analyses, what you think is going to happen with all 4 of these awesome classic projects that we love to play. But that's it for this weekly update. I hope you enjoy it, and until next time, I'll see you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey you. Yes you. Are you still there? Well, I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this entire video and making it to the end here. If you enjoyed this video, definitely check out the other videos about World of Warcraft listed in these playlists down below. And thank you again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.